The Kongs have gone from the edge of the swamp, through the black guts of the ship's back half, to the dead center of the ruined port, and now here, onto the decks of the wrecked ship's front end. It's on this part of the ship that the second half of Krem Key takes place, and sees the Kongs climbing higher and higher, away from the swamp, but they can't do it alone. This is part 16 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 2. I have such a vivid memory of playing this level. It was in class in high school. I should have been doing work, but instead I was replaying a game I loved as a child that I hadn't played in a long time. I barely remember what I have for breakfast most days, but I remember this. I remember the room, the people sitting near me, the weather outside the window. I didn't remember this level though. As deeply engraved in my memory as so many elements of this game was, despite how long it had been since I last played it, close to a decade at that point, this level was one of those moments that had totally slipped my mind, and it didn't return when I started making my way through it at all. And so it was like I was playing Rattle Battle for the very first time, and I loved every fucking second of it. The bright green sky, the color of toxic waste, the fact that the entire level was centered around one of my favorite animal buddies, the upbeat music in the middle of one of the most somber and melancholy areas of the game, it all just hit me like a ton of bricks. This is a beautiful level. It's simple too. The entire level is a celebration of Rattle and built around his playing style. Jumping enemies, flying enemies, pits and platforms. It's a bit of a gauntlet, with Cannon returning to create some dicey moments of air traversal. It's also the first appearance of the green kaboing, who looks rad. There isn't a lot of palette swapping going on in this game, and that's a shame. The level starts out in this short area, and corrals the player into a cabin, where we see our first animal barrel. Unlike the crates, the barrels see the Kongs turning into the animal buddies themselves. The distinction here is important, as the animal buddy isn't simply a fun advantage in the level, they're necessary for its completion. It's something we'll see a lot more of in DKC3, and while I prefer the crates, I understand the need for the barrels. There's not a whole lot to say about the level itself. You're expected to use the charge jump a few times, and after the halfway point, Cannon returns to create both a means for traversal and be a pain in your snake ass. Rattle Battle is pretty awesome, and feels like a deliberate respite from the gloom that has permeated the last 3 levels. To me, any semblance of story or environmental detail ultimately boils down to the Kongs not being able to traverse the wreckage, and so Rattle takes the lead and creates a path for them, or something like that. If we wanted to dig a bit deeper, we could say that this level, the background in particular, could be a good look at the port on a sunny day. The stagnant water reflecting the light and glowing bright green. Maybe the gases or chemicals in the area cause the light waves to go green. I'm not that well versed in physics, sorry. Another thing we could say, though it's reaching a bit, is that judging by the similarity between the cabin here and the one found in Pirate Panic, this could have been K. Rool's main ship before it was crashed. This feeds into another theory I hinted at back in Barrel Bayou, but it's still a bit early for that. And while they clearly just didn't want to make a whole new asset for the cabin, that doesn't mean it wasn't K. Rool's ship once upon a time. I wish I picked a better point to end the episode on. Part 16 done. It's a great level, and like I said before, it's one that's ingrained into my DKC2 experience. The memory of rediscovering this level is entwined with the moment Donkey Kong Country 2 became my all-time favorite game. That's it for now. As always, thanks for watching. YouTube's full of great choices, and I'm stoked that you've chosen to watch my stuff. I don't take any of it for granted. Oh yeah, this is the only level where the main theme is Snaky Chanty, unless you count the end of Glimmer's Galleon, and you shouldn't. Okay, see you later.